And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on when or where you're watching this from. Welcome to the Co-Crown Podcast. I'm AJ, this is Mitt, and we are reacting, as always, to Digimon Ghost Game. Yay! Super excited. Hey, Reiko! Thanks very much for joining in. So for anyone who's wondering about the fluffy hoodies that we're wearing, these are super comfortable. They're pink. They have donuts on them, so I already love them for that. But I took Yami's comment from last week to heart when Yami made the statement that I look like I'm ready for bed. So I decided to take that another step further, if you will. So take a look at this thing. Isn't it cool? It's like it goes down, these go down to our knees, and they're super fluffy and super comfortable, and God, it's just like, it's like living inside a teddy bear. That probably sounds a bit more macabre to some people, but it's like the only way I can really describe it. So we are ready to react to Digimon Birbs. Hey, Justin, Rake, and Yami's here too. Speak of the devil, and they shall appear. I say this in good fun and in jest, but you know, it was an idea. You know, you thought I was ready for bed last week in my presidential pajamas. I just figured I'd go all out and be a toasty cinnamon bun for this review. So, hi everyone. So, Pedja's here. I'm glad that's all I said. Oh, God. Tomorrow's your birthday? Well, happy birthday in advance, Justin.
Happy birthday, Justin.
I won't sing you happy birthday, because I don't want to give you a bad day. So, we won't be doing that, but, so Pedja's already saying this episode was great. I'd seen Reiko's tweets about this episode, so very curious to see how we lean toward it. But before we get started, you know, let's have a bit of a catch up chat. It's been a week. How has everybody been? What have you gotten up to? Yeah, we do have Psycho ready to go. We do have the champion.
During the episode.
That is more than fair. This was the worst one for now. Okay. Much improvement on last week's episode. Okay, so a bit of divide in the chat. Thank you. I just can't wait to hear you sing First Riders if possible. Gosh. Yeah, look, let's get Faction or Butterfly out of the way, and then we'll look at other songs. I've already committed to Faction, Butterfly, and Believer. Let's get those out of the way first. So circulate the tapes, like and subscribe, etc., etc. It helps the algorithm. Yeah, blah 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 blah. You've heard it from a billion other YouTubers outside of myself. You don't need me restating the obvious. So Reiko's drawn a fair bit this week. Awesome. Maybe looking at commissioning? Maybe? Ooh. I'll say no more. Jellymon has a wardrobe, apparently. Oh, okay. Awesome. Even on my birthday, I need more faction. Well, we are living the faction life, so Digivice at the ready. Yeah. You don't even have your...
I forgot that.
My human device. Brilliant. Oh, that's
Tamagotchi, but you're the creature.
A Fitbit is a human Tamagotchi. Okay, that's going in the Streamlabs quotes.
We've never seen that.
No, I've never. No, I hand on my heart. I've never heard anyone equate a Fitbit to a human Tamagotchi. That's
I had a
I mean, it
Tamagotchi.
makes sense.
I had an actual baby,
Oh,
and yeah, someone gave it to me. Like it,
right. I
and
can see why.
and then I didn't like it, and I buried it in the back garden because it wouldn't stop beeping.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. Any other Tamagotchi horror stories from the chat? Oh,
It had garden cement over it.
Matthias. Hey, for me, the ghost. Okay, yeah, I see it. The ghost game from this episode, the last one, and the preview just turned into Hunters. I kind of liked Hunters, so whatever. I don't know how to feel about that. Sounds like those old Furby horror stories. Justin says, I always loved how Angoramon shows his teeth. The line reminds me of old cartoon teeth. Do you know what? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that is fair. The Furbies are terrifying, especially if you ever see them without the fur.
Oh,
Yeah.
batteries.
Yeah, nightmare fuel.
Not as bad as my clown though. Clown top up. It was like a little porcelain clown, and his head would go. And it wasn't motion activated. Blasted it. Too old to be motion activated.
Oh, God.
And then years later we found the head. And later on we found the body, and it was just like a plushy body, but it just like sticking out the top of it, so his head used to roll around him. This was one of my toys when I was horror movie.
Yeah, Meg Ghost Game.
Yeah.
This is Meg Ghost Game. God. Oh God. I might need the strength of the Kaicho to get through this if you keep this up. Oh
Horror story.
no. Let's just start the episode.
Although to
maybe.
be fair, we walked into a horror story earlier with all the birds everywhere.
Oh yeah, so right, so I'll put the video up on Twitter later. So we went out for a walk earlier, and it's funny that we're, reacting to the episode that's just called Birds. Still the best episode title, Birds. But there were just hundreds of them everywhere, and I'm like, I've seen this movie. I know how this ends. It was bloody terrifying. It was just like, there were crows, blackbirds, starlings. God, they were just everywhere, and it was so uncomfortable because we're going down like this narrow alleyway, and there's houses on either side, so they're just perched on the houses and on the electricity wires.
And as we kind of got over the hill bit, we could see into the garden, and they just fit the garden.
They just fill the garden. I'm like, I have a video of it. I'll put it up on the Twitter later. So, cheap plug, hint, hint, wink, wink. But yeah, it was just so unnerving. Because it also worked in tandem with this episode, and we're just like, this is a bad omen. This is a bad omen. And then when we got to our destination, there were more of them. And because it's just this big field, and they're just circling around, and this time, like, you've got giant seagulls, and seagulls are nasty creatures at the best of times. It was just like, please don't eat me. So yeah, today has been very thematic.
Yeah.
to say the least. Today has been quite thematic. So I think we'll get into the episode then. So if you're watching along on Crunchyroll or Anime Lab or whatever third-party source you might be using, we're right at the start with the Toei Animation cat. So let's just get into things and have ourselves a good old time. Now I just need to find the Crunchyroll app. There we go. Seagulls, yeah. Nasty seagulls. Like, not seagulls as they are depicted in anime and manga. Seagulls in real life are more like evolved velociraptors that I think the entire country is convinced are devolving.
Oh, they are.
Back
like
into
a
raptors.
literal biologist told us that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So it's not just
They are
hyperbole.
They're starting to devolve, and that's
Oh. Seagulls are the rogues of the sky.
the raptors of the sky.
They're just rats with wings.
Oh, they're bigger than rats.
I don't know. Sometimes I think the rats are friendlier.
Mm. Soon we'll have dinosaurs. Yeah, chickens are growing teeth. Yeah.
And geese also have teeth on their tongues.
Oh,
but yeah.
no, let's forget this.
Oh, right then. We'll get started then. So we'll soon we'll have dinosaurs again. Okay. Right. So let's just. Right. Let's go from the horror of birds in real life to the horror of birds in anime. It's all look, no, but hold on. Before I do hit start, it's always that one part of Link's Awakening that's bugged me, where Marin is like, "Oh, I want to become a seagull, and I want to travel, and I want to sing for people." Like, that's not how seagulls work.
No, Martin, you're going to be attacking people and eating their fries.
Yeah, attacking people on the beach and stealing their food. They steal food and are willing to kill things for it. One dropped a seashell on my dad once, barely missed him.
Didn't that seagull like swoop into someone's garden and pick up a dog, like a little
yeah.
dog, and take it away?
Yeah, like there's video footage. I think it was only for the dog was too heavy. It didn't actually get away with it.
Yeah, but it was such a small dog. It was actually able to pick it up.
Yeah. If that's the case, real life animals are starting to shinka. Yes, but no. Is unshinka?
Unshinka?
De-shinka? Or or it's like the Mario movie where they're just getting hit with the devolving guns.
Oh yeah.
Let's just watch the damn episode. I'm gonna hit the play button in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so we're living the faction life. Let's go. Live on side, too strong, take a faction life. There we go. God, it's still a tune. Still a tune.
Just for my...
Oh. Oh.
Really cute.
Oh yeah, that random bunny on the wall is just adorable. See him on? Oh.
We need to get 2 little water bottle pockets in that.
Oh yeah, that'd be a fun idea. Battle Gamamon. Chaos Gamamon. Widen Gamamon. That Edamon that throws Gamamon off the building? It is. It is indeed Edamon. So hopefully we'll be seeing him soon. Edamon's crotch. Jesus. Oh, okay, I guess this is Daigo.
Guy from Old Boy.
It is that guy from Old Boy. He would. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, this is just unsettling. Uh-oh. No, I'm glad our day didn't go this way. Big, looming Yatagaramon.
You're dead.
Yeah. You're dead. Million shards of glass to the face. Yeah. You're just so dead. Somehow he survived this. Ding. Wait, this isn't cinema. Oh no! Run, little girl! Just run! just close the door and GTFO. Yeah. Oh,
that's
okay,
so
it's
dirty.
smacking into the door. That's fun. Like, not fun for the bird, but just as a visual effect. Oh, is it gonna do like a Shining thing where it just... Oh no, they're just gone. The lock is melted.
Everyone used the same lock on them.
Yeah.
Cages.
Oh!
Aww.
My champion, my champion.
Aw.
Is Gamamon gonna fight a bird? Faster and way more mobile. Hero being a responsible parent. No, you still have some. Rose broke into my room and melted her cage. How? Shiroru. Is it okay if I leave now? Bone-like object shaped like a bird. Watch this. Oh no. Is Gamamon asleep?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Jellymon has no chill as usual.
Yeah.
Higachi? She just can't say his name, can she? You have your masters, you're exempt. Oh.
Oh.
His poor eyes. He's gone catatonic.
You do during the day. Oh.
Oh no. In that day and age, of course, they'll think it was a drone decorated as a bird instead of a monster from another dimension. But now I just have questions about who can see unrealized Digimon and who can't. Like, does it get picked up as a drone because technology is recording it, or what? Can everyone see Drachmon if they look hard enough? Is Yatagaramon here actually realized, or is he just, like, hologrammy? Seems pretty realized. Hey, Jackie, thanks for joining in. Let's put the FBI to shame. Digimon out of context. Interesting thing, the shadow of that Yatagaramon all dark with a cybernetic border like the others. Yeah, that's true. It does look more realized than any of the ones we've seen so far. Hmm. Oh. Same busted locks. Digibusters confirmed. That's better than calling them a Scooby Gang, I suppose.
Yeah.
But take photos of Clockmon and Mummymon, so it must have stages as Angoramon. That's true. Yeah, I'd forgotten about Hero's friend taking photos of Clockmon. So maybe it's an intent thing? Like they can be seen if they want to? These birds are gonna haunt my night. Well, there's the thumbnail image anyway.
Yes.
I thought of Yatagaramon as another bird. Well, he's the ninja, isn't he? I mean, you could argue Peckmon is pre-evolved form. Hey, Iker, thanks for joining in. Let's review. Move that breaks down digital spells. Digimon must be sharing its power with the crows. Huh. How they were melted. Shady's a bit right. At least the translators didn't call him sus. We don't want that. We don't want a repeat of that non-issue. Oh, praise Helix! Sorry. I saw an opportunity. Oh god. Oh, it's gonna be like that scene from Jurassic World, isn't it?
This guy just hijacks the helicopter.
Oh. Scary burbs. Lots of scary burbs. You might hurt people. Why is he so happy?
New friends!
Friends!
You took away my snakes, let me play with the bird.
Oh no, they might hurt people, and Rory goes all shocked Pikachu face about it, and Gamamon's like... These are all bundled up in winter gear. Does lend credence to the idea that their timeline is following ours, though it's the same date. Although they must start to question eventually why all these adventures are happening on a Sunday. Or Saturday, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh. Perfect level. So it ain't getting destroyed. I'm already not liking this now that yeah, like I knew Yatagaramon was perfect, but ooh. Come on, it doesn't have your chocolate. Are we gonna punch the birds out of the sky? Because that'd be funny. No. Where did Jellymon get a winter coat? I suppose Gamamon has a scarf, but like that means Kyoshiro had to go to like a doll store or like the kids section and get her a coat. Maybe it's the birds that make Gamamon go kaboom. Never mess with Gamamon's Psycho. Also, what loophole did Kyo use to let them stay up past 11? Said a couple of episodes prior they have a curfew. Dude is abusing his power. Abusing for the greater good. Jellymon surely forced Kyo to go buy it for her. Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe they bought it online. I don't know, I just think...
With all her Bitcoin.
With all her Bitcoin, yeah. She just bought it. She bought it online with all her Bitcoin. Although I do think it's funnier the idea of Kyo going into like a Penny's or a Walmart and just like this one.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
why is he talking to himself? Uh-oh.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh, that's got a smart. Jellymon-sama! Okay, not
sorry, that face was hilarious.
Yeah, it really undid any tension in the scene.
Yeah.
Meme face galore. I do like the coloring here.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do like the color, the use of shadowing here, and so the kids not get hit at all. This is the most that Jellymon has called him darling. By now, Kyoshiro would ask why. No. Oh, yeah, give me back my champion! He's just biting its leg. He hasn't said the catchphrases though. We haven't gotten any bad vibes or intent to go kaboom. I mean, what did he think was going to happen? The thing has 3 legs. Oh, is this seismic toss?
Oh god.
Yatagaramon suddenly rears up and just... Oh no, just hurls him. Those little wings aren't going to do much for you, Gamamon.
He's not going to break the building yet. I was going to say, is he going to break the roof with him?
Oh. No. We're getting blue evolution. We're getting blue evolution. Gamamon! The one that looks like a V-Mon. And it still also has crotch armor.
I didn't look. I'm not going to be able to unsee it. Yeah, there it is. Although
It's time to blue. Heroes just Scott Pilgrim. Hey, Gamamon, you know your evolution? It's all blue. He's so done. Yatagaramon's face, he's just so done. He just looks up like, oh, I'm too old for this shit.
Now, are you gonna?
You gonna do anything? What's your attack? So it's not flying, it's falling with style?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not sure if like. I mean, it's
Like
he's like a big kite. Urda Impulse. Okay.
What level is he versus him?
No, this is still a champion or an adult level. It's just first time evolution bonus, so he's going to appear so much stronger.
Yeah. Gonna kill it?
Are we actually going to destroy a perfect for a change? Did we win? Did we win? No! Okay, big old crater. Oh, now what? Fucking meme face again. It ran away? Yeah, the episode's over. What the fuck? What?
I thought that guy's face was gonna fall.
So did I. Alright, so they'll be back in another episode, but what the hell? It just ran away! I got him back from my champion. Yeah, you did. You're so pathetic, darling. Aww.
Follow them and kill them.
Yeah, follow them!
Kill it.
Said that Yatagaramon will lead birds to the Golden City. Not all birds are following. Caged bird yearns for freedom, while the wild bird yearns for friends.
What?
The birds are free to choose who they're with. Aww. Oh, that's at least that's nice.
Mm.
Well, some leave. Bonds take different shapes. Okay.
Right.
So I was enjoying that until Yatagaramon just noped out and went, nah, I'm done.
Yeah, that. Oh.
Does that mean Chaos Gamamon won? Yeah, he won by ring out. Maybe it's because since it never talked, we don't know anything about its personality. Well, I mean, Yatagaramon, when Gamamon evolved, that face was just like, yeah, I'm so done with this. But...
Oh, this really was the time.
yeah, I thought we were going to...
Had he
like,
attacked and then the other two joined in to attack, taking him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. An adult and two child levels. Especially with how big and powerful Angoramon has been shown to be. And you'd have gotten away with it because it was a first time evolution bonus on Gamamon's end.
Someone else? Oh.
Yeah, that would have been nice. What are we getting next week? A bunch of stuff at once. Oh, this is the one that's called Pandemonium or something, isn't it?
People.
Thunderballmon, Kiwimon, Unimon, and I don't know if the big thing wasn't a Machmon, but it kind of looks familiar. The settings are good with the episodic nature of the series, but the resolutions are getting really bad. Yeah, like this was a good episode, but the ending really lets it down. Oh, Yatagaramon was clearly not there to fight, just to fulfill his goal. Easier to come back another time or just quit while he's ahead. I get that, but I wish that I this is one of these instances where I wish there was a tell, don't show.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Metal Greymon Blue Flare? Oh, is that how they so they couldn't work it into Adventure 2020, so this is how they're gonna get it in? If that turns out, hold on, let me go back and look at it again, because if that's a Metal Greymon Blue Flare, awesome. Because it never got its time to shine in Adventure 2020, so sure. Let me go back to that episode preview and have another look. If the episode would load, that'd be nice. Still casting. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the YouTube version. Yeah, like I enjoyed like the premise, and there was some really tense, scary moments, like when that girl walks into the room and the crows are just ready to kill her, and then like the thing smacking into the door. I really enjoyed. Yeah, you know, there was a nice thud to that. Where you do feel that, and you know, Kyoshiro being tricked basically into helping everyone. You know, was fun, but geez, that ending. I'm starting to like. I really hope that we don't get all 3 Gamamon evolutions before we see the other 2.
Yeah,
I don't want Hero to turn into the Taichi of this series. This is a tough one. Let's see, episode 8 preview. Past it. Oh, I really did like this one, and I actually thought Hero feels like a human being. He's far from Taichi. That's fair, but ranking wise, like I really like this episode. I do think it was better than last week's, but oh, that ending, him just noping out is
like, I get what they're saying. You're to fight. For all we know, but
maybe
didn't come across that.
Oh. Okay, no, I don't think that's a Blue Flare Metal Greymon. That thing has fans on its head and what look like tusks. So, yeah, so we have a Thunderballmon, Iwimon, a Unimon. This thing with the fans on its head. They all contribute in their own ways, and Goramon and Jellymon contribute in ways outside combat, and Gamamon isn't smart enough to help outside combat, so it's understandable. But I still want to see the others evolve. Yeah, I would have preferred someone else evolve. Like, especially when Angoramon is like, no, run away and leave us behind. Yeah. Like, if Rory was just like, no, I refuse, and that set off.
Yeah, that's...
Like, I get you want something that can fly, because you've got a flying enemy, and Kaos, but we haven't seen Simbar Angoramon to know what it can and can't do yet. Yeah, he can. Yeah, Angoramon can fly with his ears.
Yeah.
He can helicopter up, so there's no reason why we couldn't have just, it's Digimon. It doesn't have the laws of physics don't have to make sense.
Yeah. He could just jump that high.
He could
Because.
Yeah, he could be Samurai Jack. You could fly? No, I just jump real good. They could have easily done that with him. Oh.
Rather than I do.
Although the van is
No, not the van. The head.
The head. No, that's a Digimon. Yeah, that is a Digimon. I guess we're in a period of random chapters to have people cast. Those episodes don't need to be or do things that greatly support the story, and this episode is the lowest of the bunch. Yeah, like it is, like the comparison was made to Digimon Savers last week, and I'm definitely more in agreement with that, because the first 11 episodes of Digimon Savers, you could put them in you could chop and change them in any order bar episode 1 and episode 3. They have to stay where they are, but the others you could really just put anywhere, and it doesn't. They're as inconsequential as each other. But if you're going to do a fillery episode, at least have some mention of the plot. Like, I don't.
Filler.
Yeah, like
Seems like it was wasted.
I don't think we're going to get any plot out of next week's episode.
No.
Like this is like a streetcar named Desire, It's just gonna the fast and the furious mon.
Yeah.
That like that's
the episode title.
Yeah. Digimon Ghost Game Tokyo Drift or something, Will we just jump to the ranking and get it out of the way? We have a plot? We have plot inclining yet. This was great because I'm not right, Pedge is saying that this episode is great because it's not a misunderstood Digimon like the last 4 episodes. It's just a bad Digimon. And I'm okay with that, and I do like the idea of Yatagaramon recruiting this human. Like the human who was a non-character.
Mm-hmm.
Like the episode preview made a big deal out of like, oh, his name was Daigo and he's this and that, right? And we had the jokes about Daigo from Try and whatever else. But he was a non-entity, really. Like, what did he contribute to this episode that couldn't have been achieved if he was just erased out of the scenes? I wanted.
He just opened some doors.
He just opened some doors, which the crows have been shown to be able to do by melting them, or just flying through windows. Though we could see Kyoshiro take the mantle of primary investigator in this episode, maybe set that as the standard. While Hiro and Ruri are in school, Kyoshiro is in charge of investigating. It's also a perfect excuse to have Kyoshiro, the coward of the group, be the one to have first contact with wild Digimon. He'll be the one going first because the others were at school. Yeah, I did like that they kind of addressed that. It's like, because anime does this thing where it's like, it's set in a school, but the kids never go to class.
Yeah, and they never get in trouble.
And they never get in trouble for it. Where this episode went, you have a master's degree, you get out there.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
You don't have to go to class.
Yeah. The inheritors of the Karemi Detective Agency. Now there'd be a cool crossover if Takumi and Ami just show up. That'd be hilarious. Actually, I'd pop for that. That would get a 10 out of 5 if we got that. If we got that sort of crossover, where Cyber Sleuth characters just pop up because reasons.
Yeah.
There was one thing I noticed, and we were kind of distracted, so I didn't really get to pick it up. The cafe that they were at was called the Kiyobashimaru restaurant, or which isn't that like a
Star Trek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's an odd reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Star Trek thing.
It's the exam.
The exam.
Kobayashi.
Yeah, the Kobayashi Maru. The restaurant with the cafe they were in was called that. I was like, what a weird reference. How was Daigo even able to see him? I don't know. And that was one thing I was looking forward to in this episode. This idea of, like, you know, coming full circle on what Drachmon said. Oh, well, I would just give the Digivice to an awful human. This idea of, like, this, you know, because Daigo wasn't evil. He was just hypnotized? Enamored?
Yeah.
Like, he sort of went, oh, big bird god, I will follow you.
Yeah.
You know, so he was like, he was a disciple, I guess, or, There's a particular word I'm looking for, but let's just go with disciple for lack of that at the minute. But there's no explanation other than Digimon magic. No. And Yatagaramon didn't even have, like, as Reiko pointed out, the hologram border or anything to say, like, that. It wasn't invisible. So all changing to the jungle setting it did was take Daigo out of the fight.
Yeah.
But he's so inconsequential to the story anyway, why did it matter?
Yeah.
I guess. What? Yeah, like, this is... I don't think... hold on. I'm going to bring up the... It seems Yatagaramon wasn't in hologram form. No, but we don't know how. Because anyone else that has come through so far, even this preview for next week, everything is in hologram form. So what made Yatagaramon special? Who realized him? So is there, like, an evil Digidestined out there who maybe will slowly start to see realizing Digimon, similar to... Remember in Applemon you were asking me about the silhouetted Apply driver who was able to use Saximon. Okay, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, the Apply driver in silhouette. Okay. Honestly, this is the first episode that doesn't leave me wanting to draw the antagonist. Yeah, I mean, what do you do with Yatagaramon? He didn't really have, like, personality or a presence. The birds that were working for Yatagaramon had more of a presence than Yatagaramon himself.
Yeah.
For 90...
rolled his eyes once.
Yeah, rolled his eyes at the evolution. Now look, I mean, that gets points because it does scream of, this isn't going to work. And then it did work, and he just noped out.
Yeah.
You know, overall, what do you think of Ghost Game's episodic formula? I feel like there's a big need to change things up. And I think they will. Like, again, it was equated last week, and I do agree, it was equated last week to Digimon Savers, where the first 11 episodes, again, they're very chop and change, they're episodic. Aside from 1 or 2 episodes, they don't really have a set place where one episode matters over the other. But so I'm hoping, based on episode 9, and I don't want to go into the spoilers again for episode 9.
Don't talk any spoilers that either.
No, but based on what we know of the title alone for episode 9, that seems to be where we'll start getting a tonal shift. But could I see them going the first 13 episodes, like the first arc of the show, like this? Yeah. But at the same time, we have to start building to Gulus Gamamon, and I said that a lot last week, and I was kind of hoping, you know, we would get there. Oh. Sorry, Metabee wants to fight a Greymon. I don't know if the bracelet sounds are being picked up on the mic.
Back, Iker.
Hey, Iker, welcome back. No. Oh.
So it wasn't for...
No, hey Clatter. No. It was. I enjoyed the tension in the episode.
Yeah, the monster of the week portion. Good.
Yeah.
But. Well.
Seriously, with this episode, I'm more inclined to simply draw Yadagaramon with boobs, since the normal one doesn't have anything, and that makes me interested.
Yeah, cute.
Is that not just? Would that not just be female Ravemon at this point? It's. We need to see the first arc villain, just a hint of him. Yeah, we haven't seen our hint of the first arc villain. Hey, Metabee won. Awesome.
Yay.
Good job, Metabee. Right. So. Oh man. Like.
Save us.
No,
Episode really
good
good.
episode up until Yadagaramon just noped out.
Yeah,
That- Yeah, like that leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and I haven't even had my chocolate yet. So, right, I guess I'll open up the document, and we'll look at the ratings and the ranking, and sort of go from there. So. Oh. Okay, no, they're just not going to show the silhouette. Okay. Here. Sparrow simply led birds to freedom. That's it. Okay, oh, no, I don't want to open it up in... I don't know. Thought I had said open office at Vault. Not. Not later. Right, so, episode 7. Birds. Yeah. No, we're in the right one. It came up last week. Plus, I'm not sure. I don't have the display capture on.
Oh, okay.
I'll actually do that so that. I wonder if we're going to get a main antagonist or just Adventure 2020 villains. No, because we know Gulus Gamamon is the villain for the first arc. They've teased that in episode 1. There was something Clockmon was afraid of. And Gulus Gamamon is shown all broody and antagonistic-y in the opening titles. So we know it's coming. The show is just not getting there with any great speed. Castlevania. No, I have to play Persona 5. Have fun. You need to play it. I'll see. I will talk about stuff that I'm playing that you guys might be interested in a few minutes. But as far as the episode ranking goes, let me just get the display capture up here, and we'll get the document for you guys. Okay. Okay. Right. So, Meg, I'll let you start.
Oh no.
You're
glad I said.
yeah, Gulus Gamamon is the kaboom. We just don't know how yet. And you ranked last week's episode at 2.5, so do you think this episode was worse than last week? Because last...
Yeah. Episode bad.
Was it as bad as last week's? Or was it worse?
Last week.
Yeah.
Losing a whole.
For the ending. Right,
The
so
ending.
at minimum it's a 4. So if we work on a 5 scale and it loses a point for Yatagaramon just noping out, that's a minimum of a 4.
I'll lose it.
For the evolution, for it just being Gamamon again.
Yeah, for being Gamma Money.
Okay, so a 3.
I'll go with a 3.
A 3? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I think I would agree. I think it's about on par with last week's, where it had really good tension and build up, and the monster of the week was, you know, it was scary, and like, I mean, we had that whole thing about seeing the birds earlier and just being like, here.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy that aspect of it.
Yeah. So it's giving it points.
Yeah.
The birds being scary, but the villain itself wasn't very scary.
No, he was very meme face at times, but
Oh yeah, his tongue sticking
I
out was so
do think it was an overall better. I don't know if Yatagaramon just noping out is a better, because, you know, live to fight another day like Clockmon. I
but
don't
they
know if
just
that's a better.
Let him go.
Yeah, they didn't really pursue him, but I don't know if that's a better ending than Hero singing and Sirenmon going, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay, maybe I shouldn't strangle your friends." They're both terrible, and I don't know which one is worse, or if they're on par. Yeah.
Not really.
Alright. And because we just got blue Gamamon this week rather than somebody else, yeah, do you know, I think I'll meet you there on a 3. So, favorite character. No. The crows?
The random crows.
Okay. The crow. Okay. I have to make it legally distinct, right?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, they were they were what interested.
Yeah. I can't even say Jellymon this week, because Jellymon, you know, as much as I enjoyed, yeah, he's just too scared to do anything, and then they trick him into helping out.
Yeah.
And her little winter coat was adorable. It doesn't save the episode. And Daigo was a non-entity. I don't know. Do I want to just give it to the crows as well? Kind of defeats the purpose of the Digimon show if the real life animals are getting the best character slot.
They were the villains. They just weren't the villain.
We'll come back to chat in a moment. Oh, I really don't know. You know what? Yeah, I think I'll just meet you there as well.
Terrible.
Nobody really stood out this week. No, do you know what? Kyoshiro doing the investigating and working out the whole Ammonite thing, I enjoyed that. So I'll go with Kyoshiro. I thought he shined through a bit more. I meant to say yes. I thought he shined through a bit more as a character rather than a presence.
I guess.
Oh, but I still think picking the crows is very valid.
Yeah.
Because again, they were the cause of the tension.
Yeah.
You know, Yatagaramon, we don't know if he was there or not. Maybe it's very vague whether he was real or whether he was realized or in hologram form. It was very vague. So him passing his power to the crows to let the crows work on his behalf made them a very terrifying presence. So very, very valid to go with the crows.
Yeah.
I just wanted the joke for the movie.
Yeah.
You're sticking with them. Okay, so
Yeah, they were more interesting.
okay. So if you were to rank Bird, then is it better than the Doll's Manor or is it below the Doll's Manor? Stop casting. As you can see,
Yeah.
this episode has us very conflicted. Above Doll's Manor? Okay.
Ending.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There we go. And now, because I ranked last week's episode the same, I think I'm gonna cheat a little. I may have Oh, it's still there. I just copied 2 cells. Okay, I may have reevaluated some opinions during the week. Yeah. I think I prefer Curse Song more than Doll's Manor, having had time to think about it. And I think Bird is just slightly better than Curse Song. So
They're all kind of.
yeah. Okay, well then, let's move back then to the chat. See what the guys. Let's see what everyone's been saying. Ooh. Oh, there we go. So, Coolest Gamamon is the Kaboom, we just don't know it yet. The main antagonist might be a virus that Angoramon was speaking about in episode 4, the AI that created Digimon, possibly. This episode was way better than last week's. No way, last week's was quite bad. These 2 opinions are the same. Maybe they're talking to our opinion on it. I feel like it's a decent episode. Jackie says then, I feel like it's a decent episode, but I wish that the action resolution changes more in future episodes. I also hope that some of the minor characters make future reoccurrences instead of one-offs. Yeah, well, we know of one definitely in 2 weeks, but there is a possibility for Dracmon and Yadagaramon to come back now. But I don't know if I'm excited for it. I guess we just have to see where the next few weeks go, because next week we're getting Digimon the Fast and the Furious.
That's something spectacular.
Yeah, it looks like from the preview it looks like it's already going to be another 3.
Yeah.
You know, the Clatter then says, seriously, why are they holding back the other partner Digimon from evolving? They better not make Hero and Gamamon hog all the spotlight. Totally agree.
Yeah. One of those 2 needs to evolve.
Yeah, and that's kind of my worry for next week, that Wizen Gamamon will join the race.
Yeah.
And then we'll have all 3. Redacted will show back up in episode 9, and then episode 10 we get the Kaboom. I don't want it to go that way, but based on the structure I wouldn't be too shocked. No. Yeah. So Yami says 4. Well, that's reasonable. There was a much better sense of team dynamics in this one. It's only the sudden end that lets this week's episode, and I do, and that's why I like it better than the Siren episode at the very least. That's why I do rank it a bit higher than last week's episode. Give it to Chiruru. He gave it a sweet ending. Yeah, I mean that would have been a valid choice. Give it to Chiruru as favorite character for the week. Pedja gives the episode a 3.5. Again, very valid. Clatter says they really could have done something creative with Yadagaramon and Daigo, but they didn't. Yeah, and I'm almost personally upset about that because the way Dracmon was talking about the Digivice, and I know I've sort of said this only a few minutes ago, but it really did set up that if Digimon can interact with humans, there is room there for all sorts of shenanigans to ensue. But from what we've seen so far, like, Digimon are in hologram form when they come through, and Yadagaramon was left vague enough that we don't really know if he was there or not, but how he hypnotized or caused Daigo to become so enamored or enraptured is...
If he didn't see him, why did he?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, exactly. So
that's hardly talking about the crows.
Yeah, and maybe that is like another hint to say that Yadagaramon was realized. But I would have liked something to... This is, again...
Like, I feel like...
This should have been a tell, This should have been a tell.
I feel like Angoramon should have pointed out he's realized. How
is he
realized?
Yeah, yeah, Angoramon's words of wisdom at the end of the episode could have been replaced with something more in line with the plot. Here, like, as you say, hold on a minute. How is he real? Because you need a Digivice for that. So, Yadagaramon could have had the same threatening presence as Majiramon, but written differently. Yeah, and that was where I thought they were going to go with it. That he would have this presence similar to Majiramon in Divine Wrath, but they just chose no. He got kicked in the head and then went, nah, I'm done. I'm out of here. Hey, thanks, bye. Edja says, I like that the battle in this episode wasn't 30 seconds long. It may as well have been. No, you're right. No. It wasn't 30 seconds long. It was a minute long, and 30 seconds of that was Chaos Gamamon learning to fly.
Yeah.
Because before that, he was falling with style. And then once he started attacking, like, we got the headbutt thing to the chest, which, again, totally looks like a Vmon evolution. That's just V headbutt. You can call it Undar whatever. Urda something all you want. It was basically just V headbutt. So he gets V headbutted and then gets kicked to the head, and then Yadagaramon just nopes out. Yeah, so Yami's then, I appreciate that we got a mixed balance of approaches this week. Constantly talking a resolution makes the partners rather pointless. This one had reason and battles. Yeah, and look, I do appreciate that. It is just Yadagaramon noping out that has, I think, incensed me is maybe too extreme, but I don't know what else to call it. Because they may as well have just said you can't hurt other people's animal.
Not even mad.
Yeah, I get you. Iker says, okay. Okay. Cool. Was that about the Persona stuff? Yeah, have fun. I mean, it's not for me, but I hope you have fun with it. Justin says, we're not going to see Machmon again, are we? I don't think so. That thing with the fans on its head, I don't think is a Machmon. but it wouldn't shock me at the same time if he turns up in the DigiFast and Furious next week. Sleek Emu's here. Hey Sleek,
Hi,
thanks
Sleek.
for joining in. You've joined us mid-rant. Then Matthias, I hope the show at least gives the characters something to do. It's like the writers are trying so hard to maintain the status quo by the end of each episode, making them skippable in retrospect.
Like a villain.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're trying with them running away and coming back later. I don't think they're I think they're trying to avoid two-parters early on.
Yeah, but like,
But
you don't have to go.
no, there should be consequences. But I think the show is also, if the show is also following a pattern that our time scale is running alongside theirs, the show is putting itself in a situation where a week of time has to be missed. And I think that's what they're trying. I think that's the logic. That they're like, you know, oh, time has passed, there's another Digimon. But I think that'll change maybe when they go to Digital World proper. They'll start, you know, they'll do away with that. But I just don't. I appreciate the approach, and I don't have a bloodlust to see Digimon getting deleted. But we need to actually have a proper defeat.
Oh, we do. I really
Like,
think
Yatagaramon doesn't have to explode into pixels, but he does need to be beaten.
like he got like 2 slaps and like,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah, he got 2 slaps and just went, yeah, I'm done.
yeah.
Heck this.
Wasn't hurt, wasn't
No.
beaten down, was just
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
He just went, yeah. Nobody got time for that, and off he went. But I always look really low on the frame. What is that?
considering you're in a higher tree
Yeah,
and you're you're welcome.
maybe. If I lower it down too much, it cuts my head out of the frame.
Yeah, you need
Yeah. Let's see. Jackie says, I remember that the dims for Angoramon and Jellymon are coming in December. Maybe they're introducing the adult forms in. And that was my thought. Maybe they're going to keep it in line with the dim releases. Like, it's hard to say. Let me pick my words right here. I would have... Maybe they are trying to keep it more for in line for when the dim releases, because the Gamamon dim came with the bracelet and all 4 of his champion levels plus 1 ultimate is on that. No mega level is on the dim card for Gamamon, so my guess is we're going to get a version 2 later on with the mega levels on them. But if they do keep the Jellymon and Angoramon evolutions until the dim card comes out, that dim card comes out December 11th, if I recall. Let me just have a look what weekend that falls, right? That's 2 weeks from now. That's not awful. What that does is, that means then the weekend of... That's still December. Let's have a look. The weekend of the 27th, we have the race. Then the weekend of the 4th, we have X returning. And then the dim cards come out the following weekend. So maybe they're keeping it in line for that. But I wouldn't have thought that was such a bad idea if they were trying not to spoil what the evolutions were. Because that was the reason we didn't see them in dim form.
Yeah.
Is because they were trying to keep it a secret. But then the opening titles show you Simbar, Angoramon, and Tesla Jellymon anyway.
Yeah.
So
They're not a secret, so
They're-
they can go that far.
yeah, you know, they can go that far. And yeah, they definitely do need some champion level opponents to show up. Because it's also, we touched on this last week, it is also a big giveaway that if it's a perfect level, it's not getting killed. Which means it's going to either be talking resolution or something else happens. It escapes or it gets away, lives to fight another day, etc. And that's exactly what happened. Good, my internet. Well, welcome back, Reiko. Thanks very much.
I hope it's still running.
I hope your
since you
internet's
said
still
that.
I hope your internet is still running since you've said that. We've been on quite the tangent. Then Justin says, but how exactly was he realized? We don't know. We never found out. The episode didn't think to address it. The episode kept it really vague whether he was really there or not, but based on things happening within the episode, it did look like he was physically there rather than just a hologram. Yami says it would keep up with real-time dynamics, but it isn't necessary. We know they're champions. It's the ults that are a mystery. Yeah, definitely. Sleek then says the episode is pretty good, but we need others to get their evolution. Yeah, and if Angoramon had evolved this week, I'd have been all for giving this a 4. Because the ending wouldn't have been... The ending would have been the same, but it wouldn't just be blue Gamamon.
Yeah.
Then may as well... Justin says they may as well just give us a Garurumon for the race. I'm just gonna hide in here for a few minutes for that one. Oh. Okay. A quick few minutes. Thanks, Clockmon.
You were actually in there for an hour.
Yeah. Let's see. Jackie then says, I hope we get more info on Hokuto's whereabouts or a lead soon. So do I, but then at the same time, people were complaining that there's too much focus on the plot last week because Hiro is asking everybody about his dad. So I guess like that's one of those things you need to strike a balance on. Like there was no real mention of that. Hiro wasn't trying to run up to Yadagaramon and go, do you know where my dad is? Well, so we do have a fine balance there. And it's not just, and like that's a very weak tie to make it plot related. It's a very weak thing, so I'm okay with them not doing that. Justin then says, I wonder where Jellymon got the coat from. Well, we surmised during the episode, right? It's one of three things. Jellymon bought it online with all her with all her cryptocurrency. Kyoshiro went into the kids department and picked one out for her, or what was our third one?
Well, he went in and picked it out, or the next air floating around telling him what.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they went shopping together and she told him what to buy.
But she was invisible to himself going, this one, will that fit?
Yeah. I do think the idea of Kyoshiro and Jellymon going shopping for winter clothes is really fun.
Yeah, that would be some.
Yeah, there's a filler episode I can get behind. The shopping episode.
Bring in that fashion Akmon. And she gets involved. Even though I'm fully of the opinion that fashion now.
Yeah. But maybe they'll do something for Christmas like that, where you see Kyoshiro trying to pick out presents and Jellymon's like, darling, what are you getting for me? Got a knock? Oh. Okay, chat, hold on. Let me just BRB a sec. Right, the other housemates got the door. Cool. I really don't have a BRB on this thing. I need to build one of those. Someone remind me to put a BRB on the podcast. But yeah, on race, Jellymon's coat. Yes, we were talking about Jellymon and Kyoshiro going shopping. Maybe we could do something fun for the Christmas episode. I'd be okay with that. Desmond then says, "Hey, Desmond. Yeah, we need one good defeat to make it better. Yeah." Matthias then says, I hope they discover a way to send defeated Digimon to the world like they did in Sabers or the second half of 02. Yeah, because right now the Digivice is only giving them like this quasi-digital world, something similar to Digiquartz from Young Hunters. Or even an Aor field from Appmon. It's only really something in the vein of that. we haven't gone to the Digiworld proper yet, so who knows? As the show goes on, new mechanics are bound to unlock, and we'll sort of go from there. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't see the mic level, so I was just wondering if there was a problem with the mic. So Matthias then says, because they need to defeat some Digimon, if all Digimon either get talk to no jutsu or just run away for no reason, then it would be so boring in the long run. Yeah, Yami says they need some champion opponents to show up. Yeah, we addressed that. Matthias says that as well. Each time I see a perfect in the preview, I simply go, well, here we go again. Yeah, and that's, you know, like I'm considerably a fan of the idea it's the journey, not the destination. But if every journey is taking you to the same destination, that's where it gets a bit boring. Justin then, there was a scene in this episode where it looked like Angoramon loses weight. So he was drawn off model. I did not notice that,
No,
but
me
that'll
neither.
be something to watch out for on a second watch.
I figure once we
Yeah, once plot happens, we go back and sort of see.
Yeah.
I think that would be an interesting idea. If and when plot happens, go back and watch the build up and just see if there are background elements that go over the head, just to see if there is long-term planning.
Yeah.
Hopefully there is, but we could just get to episode 10 and they could just go exposition dump. Yes, but I would like niggly bits in the background to sort of make you go, oh, that was a thing, and that's how we got to here. But it's the first arc of the show. I don't know if they're planning something in mind for that, because it's only I don't want to say the get used to the characters arc, because I think 7 episodes in we're used to the characters.
Yeah.
I just want to see the others contributing and evolving and fighting. I want monster fighting in my monster show, damn it. You know, other than the protagonist. So let's have a look then. Justin then, loses weight. So Jackie said, same, I wish that Hero and Co. know that some Digimon cannot be reasoned with and they be stopped to resolve the conflict. Yeah, and I think we'll see that like along the lines when Clockmon, Dracmon, potentially Yatagaramon, when they show up, because I think when Clockmon especially shows back up, it's going to be a case of, okay, well, we just can't let you get away. And we start to get that tonal shift. Either that or that's where Gamamon goes kaboom. And our first instance of a Digimon dying is because the protagonist Dark Digivolved.
Yeah.
And it's more murder than it is, you know, having to be put down.
Yeah. I also feel like, well, if it wasn't going to be that, then we'd be the it.
Yeah.
Can't defeat. Can't talk him out. We can't talk him out of this. We can't.
I thought you were gonna go the other way with that, and I thought you were gonna turn Rory into the 02 cast.
No. I think she'd be the one brave enough and say we have to and get rid of it.
Yeah. Sleek is getting too formulaic, so we need the plot right now. For now, not much plot is moving forward to the goal of the characters. Desmond, yeah, ultimate level fights felt like they fighting the mid boss without grinding. Yeah, that's why we only defeated Yatagaramon, because we got a first time evolution bonus. I'm sorry, it's an RPG mechanic. It's a first time evolution bonus. That's why they're always OP on the first evolution and then get slammed going forward. Look at the Geo Grey. Oh wait, no. You haven't seen the Geo Grey Sword yet. The chat will probably get what I mean by look at the Geo Grey Sword. You haven't seen that yet. And yeah, I'm looking forward to when you meet the Geo Grey Sword. I am. I'm looking forward to that. So the problem is that Hero asks everybody, but the plot still goes nowhere. And that's a slow burn, and I don't mind it. But there has to be other things pushing forward in the background as well. I don't mind the hero asking everybody about his dad thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a slow burn, and it keeps that plate spinning.
Yeah.
But we need more than one plate spinning.
Yeah. I mean, his
his
dad is missing, and they're his only connection.
And his mom is
so.
traveling other countries, building schools and so whatever.
Yeah.
Hero's mom is El Generico. She's away in another country building schools and orphanages. Hero's mom is El Generico. Sorry, wrestling reference. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, I apologize. Kinda.
That was...
Yami then says the BRB is now going to be Jellymon modeling. What? Thanks, Yami.
We just have...
Maybe. We'll talk after. The field is like a side dimension, though. It's shown that they went poof this week in front of the guy. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, it's just like Digiquartz from Cross Hunters, or the Aor fields from Applemon. It's effectively the same idea. Hedja then says we need plot in terms of why the Digimon entering the real world, and some of the villains are serving the main antagonists like Algamon. And I think we'll get that in time. I just think we're doing... Again, I think we're going the slow burn method. Like, they hinted at something larger in episode 1. The problem is they haven't done anything since that.
Yeah.
That we're aware of. Now, repeat watch throughs could show, oh my god, this was actually because of that. But
yeah.
I doubt it. That was the Pumpkinmon episode. Episode 4.
Oh.
Yeah, the AI, I mean, I think Pedja suggested that as well. Maybe the AI will be the villain. But slice of life slow burn, it is a little bit. So Pedja then, so we read that. So Reiko then, if I had to guess, I think the studio would like to make simply some slice of life episodes, like Jellymon pushing Kyosho around and buying things for her, or Angoramon and Ruri going to a recital. And I'm totally for that. I think you could get really cute scenes like that, like in the Christmas episode.
Yeah, stuff
like Kyosho buying outfits for Jellymon in this department store while Meg said she's in hologram form, and everybody's just looking at him going, what's this weirdo doing?
Yeah, because like she'll be like picking on him, and he'll be like, stop, you know.
Yeah, Jellymon sama, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you've just got all these other shoppers going,
like,
what? You know, but in that same vein, Ruri and Angoramon going to like a literature club, or not a Doki Doki literature club, but going to a literature club or a poem recital, or you know, piano recital, or like a concert or something. I think that'd be really fun, and I think you do something like that in like the fillery Christmas good cheer kind of episode.
But you can only get away with doing.
Very true. I would let it slide only because we're seeing other characters do something.
Yeah.
That would be. I'd go, yeah, this is fine. We got to see the others do something.
Yeah. No, they could. I don't know. Surprise him with something.
Yeah. See, that's
there we go.
Nice.
We just wrote the filler.
See, there
episode.
we just wrote the Christmas episode. That's yay. Okay. So, but then Reiko continues. But since this is Digimon, they feel like they need to throw a fight every episode. Yeah, there's a little of that. There is a little of that, but I do hope over the next episode or two we do start to see a tonal shift, and the plot moves forward in a progressive direction, and etc. Nothing that we haven't been saying already. Yami says, it is missing that overlap. Nothing plot-wise happened in Tamers until the Devas showed up, but you at least had them questioning why by... Yeah, Yeah, that's more than fair as well. Like, there does need to be a lot more. Why is this happening? Because nobody questioned why Yatagaramon was physically there.
And no explanation.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, Hero's dad said nothing about that. He went,
Yeah.
here's Digivices, go figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, bye.
That kind of needs to start being at this stage. Or at least one of them. No. Next up. Why is there another bad? Why are there no more good Digimon?
Yeah,
Or-
why have we only met 3? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Mummymon aside.
Yeah, but he was still, a problem
Yeah.
for them that they had to solve.
Yeah, that they are
So-
going, why are there no other good Digimon? Why are we always running into bad ones? Why are we the only ones with these, Fitbits? Why are or smartwatches? Justin, I wonder which is stronger, Betel Gamamon or Chaos Gamamon? Going by shonen anime logic, Betel Gamamon because he was the first one and he's red. Chaos Gamamon just seemed to be kind of what Adventure 2020 did, where different environments and different situations caused an alternate evolution path. Which really makes me wonder what they're going to do for Wizen Gamamon. If he turns up during the race next week, I'm going to be very sad.
Yeah.
I'll be sad, but kind of, oh god, it's out of the way at the same time.
I would
It's-
be
it's at the-
sad
it's
because
a-
it's too soon.
Yeah.
Drop him in, race him. Then I
Yeah.
would like.
Do you think Railgun Triceratops would be able to win a race though?
And
I think he just has legs.
he'd have to- so I don't think he's going to be in the car race.
Fair. Okay. So maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see something else next.
So,
Skip. Hey, Skip. Thanks for joining in. The Digimon run away at the end of every episode. Basically, yeah. Reiko, I don't think there is anything like a stronger form between them. Yeah,
kind of a both.
kind of thing.
situation,
Yeah. But I'm just basing my assumption on shonen anime logic. Also on the dim card, he's the one that requires the most effort to get out of the 4 of them. Gulus Gamamon you get by doing nothing. He's basically the Namakemon, the sloth.
Sloth,
Yeah, he's basically the Namakemon of the dim. You get him by doing nothing. Or at least being very low effort. Yeah, but I think in terms of like their reason for being, they're doing the Adventure 2020 alternate environments given alternate evolution path. I just wish it was going to apply to the other 2, because the dim card rules that out. Now, unless something happens in the second half of the show, and maybe, and then we get version 2 of the dim cards with their alternate paths, but I doubt it. I do, and that makes me sad. I want Jellymon and Angoramon to have 2 other evolution lines.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But I also think Betel Gamamon is the one that's going to evolve into Kano Weissmon. I think he's the main one. The big dragony one?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the chat. Yeah, we get it regarding the Geo Grey Sword. AKA Slice. Justice says, yeah, the Geo Grey Sword. AKA Slice of Life Slow Burn. And Gamamon being Gamamon. Xmas Special is going to be a team party as Hero is going to have no one to celebrate Christmas with. Yeah, and that's kind of what we were saying. You know, that he's going to be alone and they'll do something nice for him because he hasn't got anyone to celebrate the holidays with. And that'll be really sweet and I'll bawl my eyes out and I'll give the episode a 6 out of 5. But, because
Depends how it ends.
Because, what?
Depends how it ends.
Depends on how it ends, yeah. If Christmas One runs away. You know? Yeah. Well,
Swear to God,
Yokomon
it's
wasn't a
like,
bad Digimon. No, Yokomon wasn't, but Yokomon wasn't an
Christmas.
Oh yeah, let's not do the Appmon thing where
Yeah.
it being wiped off the calendar somehow means that the days don't exist.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
not do that.
that was. Oh, I'm sorry. That was so
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, I
Oh
give-
no, it's not written on the calendar. Therefore, we cannot celebrate.
It's a dumb idea. It is,
Yeah.
and I even thought that
I get
watching
why
it.
people would panic. It's kind of like the A thing.
Yeah.
Y2J.
Y2J.
But,
Welcome to
But if
Raw is Digimon. Raw is Gamamon. But anyway, go on.
But yeah, like
Yeah, the Y2K. Yeah, I get.
yeah, like it was a thing that people panicked about. But
Yeah, the world wasn't
the
going.
world didn't just, and
Yeah.
you panic because your technology is messing up because of
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
Earth,
go
like
missing.
wiping the 25th off the calendar doesn't stop the Earth's rotation,
yeah.
or it doesn't speed it up, or it doesn't slow
Yeah.
it down, or it's a silly premise, but as
So-
long as they don't do that again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're all alternate champions. Yeah. Yami says, be honest, Jellymon is not a good mon. She summoned God's wrath on Kyo before even making herself known. This is true, and we stan Jellymon-sama. Lest she bring down God's wrath upon us. We stan a
I mean,
queen.
She will anyway. If it suits her.
If it suits her, it will. We stan a queen. Help us summon a queen with the thingy below. Yeah, so we are still looking for those Jellymon cards. If you want to help with that, there is a thing down below. That is my plug for the. I will get myself now.
We're talking about Christmas. Presents are part of Christmas.
Want to help us get Jellymon for Christmas? Considering she's not in a pack, or she is, and you can only get that pack at tournaments. Jellymon is great. Jellymon is the best. Maybe Wizen Gamamon in terms of JRPG is a tank. Oh yeah, he's definitely, but he's also got railguns for horns, and I love it. I love that about it. And it also won a poll recently. They ran a poll on which of the Gamamon evolutions were people most looking forward to, and Wizen Gamamon won. And I'm here for that because our railgun Triceratops deserves all the love and adoration. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's such a good design, and
Yeah.
House Gamamon just looks like a Vmon evolution, and I like Vmon. Not so much Daisuke, but I like Vmon.
I like Vmon, but I don't want it again.
But I don't want him again.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want Vmon, but again. Which as much as I love Christ, what's his name from Cross Hunters, the purple one? Oh, evolves into a Rester Dramon. God, what's its name? Gumdramon, that's the one. As much as I love Gumdramon, he is just
yeah.
purple Vmon. Like, he is just purple Vmon. And like his partner Tagiru is just Daisuke, but again. You know how I call Hop How 2.0? Tagiru is just Daisuke 2.0. What with all the with everything that made Daisuke irritating, dialed up to 11.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Good luck. Look forward to that one. Hi, chat. No.
It's funny because
Oh yeah,
it's
the same jumper. I have 3 arms now. But let's have a look. Justin says, I took a look at the card games and we're getting Tamers centered cards, even the attack plugin. Yeah, EX2, so Retro Pack 2, we're finally getting Tamers themed cards. So the trading card interpretation of the anime is finally getting put into the trading card based on the anime. took them long enough. But I do like the power-ups are also getting like proper cards. That's very neat. And there are also sleeves based on the backs of the old cards, if I recall. So that's also very fun. Sleek then says, was at a recycling center and found an Xbox original in good condition. Just needs some fixing, so I got an early Xmas gift. That's awesome. I'll find it if you can play that Xbox Digimon game. Not Rumble Arena, All-Star Rumble or All-Star Arena. It looks awful. Like I had it for the PlayStation and I played like 2 chapters of the story mode. And I went, I love Digimon, but no. But I'm now in a mood where I want to play it for the memes.
Yeah.
So we might that might be something to look at in future.
2-player?
Yes. Oh, it is, because it's an arena fighter, so you can do 2-player.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. Yeah. So, we can try and sort that out. Speaking of Digimon video games, tomorrow. Now, I usually don't stream on Mondays, right? Because I do this Sunday night and then I've got work on Mondays. I usually take Monday night off, give myself a bit of a cool down, and give Meg the computer so she can do things. Tomorrow, however, things are going to be a bit different. So if you're interested, there is a link down below to my Twitch. Follow me over there. We are going to start Digimon World Dawn. There's a lot of Pokemon hype going on at the moment with the release of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I want to be that person and just put more Digimon out there. So you're welcome to join me for that tomorrow night, around the same time the podcast would start on a Sunday. You can follow me over on Twitch. We'll be playing Digimon World Dawn, which originally released on the Nintendo DS. So you're welcome to join me for that, and we'll have some banter and some shenanigans as we play Digimon Red, basically, which Dusk would have been Digimon Blue. So yeah, that's a thing that we're doing. So would love to see you over there, but completely optional. Link is in the description if you want to give me the follow now and be ready to go. Right, so let's see, is there any other Gumdramon? Gumdramon is Arrestor Dramon an ultimate level. Let me double check, because Gumdramon wasn't given our level. He should be a child level, but because Cross Wars abandoned the leveling system until fairly recently, when they had to start giving Cross Wars Digimon levels for like the dim cards and for the trading card game, I don't the wiki has him down as a rookie, but I don't know if officially he was given rookie status, because Arrestor Dramon, according to the wiki, is both an adult and an ultimate. So go figure. With Arrestor Dramon's superior mode being classed as a perfect. So go figure, Arrestor Dramon might be an adult level with superior mode being a perfect, or he might be an ultimate. Because what are the rules? What are the rules? Even in Next Order, Arrestor Dramon evolved from Gumdramon. This is a dead-end evolution that cannot get to the perfect level without the aid of an evolution crystal. So he was classed as an adult in Next Order, but is also similarly classed as both an unknown and ultimate level within the Next Order International Edition. The ultimate level Arrestor Dramon can jogress with Omega Shoutmon into Omegamon Alter B. So if someone asks you what level is Arrestor Dramon, the answer is yes. The answer is just yes. Hunters did the same thing where Taichi gave his goggles to Daisuke with Taiki and Tagaru instead, and I think they already had the card version back of the original card game, I think. Yeah. But Tagaru doesn't get Taiki's goggles until like the last episode. So he's truly the one that inherits the role of leader. Wouldn't have been my first choice, but you know, the plot called for it. Where in season 2, it was like, oh, your goggles are broken. Here, have mine. And then sure, he gets them back anyway for Kizuna and Try, so did it matter? Dusk is Reiko says, Dusk is the superior version and I'll fight to the death defending this position. I mean, they're both perfectly valid games, you know. The only thing about Dusk is that the Dusk protagonist actually turned up in other video games. Sayo, she turned up in Cyber Sleuth, where Ko has yet to turn up in anything else. But Ko is also a goggle-headed ginger, so you know, there might be a teensy bit of bias. Maybe.
Shows up on
He only shows up on the podcast. Yada yada. Anyway. But yeah, so anyway. So yeah, Digimon World Dawn, that'll be a thing over on Twitch. You're welcome to join me, as I say. Right, so I think will we jump over then to the comments from last week? And the protagonist of Dusk is a cute girl, which makes it far better. I mean... Uggle-headed ginger, just missing a scar now. Now, Yami, enough of that. Enough of that. Let's not bring ancient history into things here. Yeah, I think Dusk had a better beginning on how to teach you how to play Dawn. On how to play. Dawn just kind of throws you in, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Might have to load up both ROMs then and see if the beginnings are that different. Maybe we'll make tomorrow a Dawn and Dusk play. We'll do an hour on each and see if the openings are truly that different. Arrestor Dramon is a glitch in the leveling system. Yeah, he's the glitch in the Matrix. Okay, so let's jump over to the comments then from last week, and then we'll get ready to GTFO. So, comments, the cursed song. Hey, oh, YouTube wants me to take the survey. As a valued creator in our community. Oh. Bullshit. What? What? Who said that?
Screenshot that. Take away your monetization again. Send that back.
Yeah. We invite you to help shape the future of YouTube. Your input will help guide important decisions about new tools and features designed to help creators like you succeed. Yeah. Right, so let's take out the I haven't responded filter. Go bottom to top. Iker, sorry dude, my phone died, couldn't make it, forgive me. That's all good. Look, you know, there's no priority? What's the word I'm looking for? Demand? Yeah, there we go. You know, we're happy you were able to join in, whether it was for 5 minutes or 50. You know, thank you for commenting. That's it. You know, thank you. We really do appreciate it. Anime Meme says, oh great. Is that a good comment? Is that a bad comment? Is that sarcastic? Like, oh great, these two again? Alright, we are the Herlock Sholmes and Wilson of Digimon podcasting. You will put respect on our names. Joking, obviously. Magic Winks Switzerland. Any evolution? Not last week, but there was one this week. It's on the other channel. Edger Rajkovic says, honestly, this episode was bad. I give it a 2.5 only for 3 things. I like how they used the first ending song from Adventure 2020. I liked how Hero and Gamamon tried to sing it. I like that Cubimon from Tamers makes a cameo. That was Yokomon, the purple Cubimon. Yeah, there was I don't want to call out any names, but I did see some videos calling it a Tamers crossover, and I went, I'm like, that's disingenuous. It wasn't. It was like, that's disingenuous.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Like, I'm not going to call this episode as Digimon Savers crossover because Yadagaramon turned up. That's disingenuous, but hey, you do you. I'm not going to tell you how to run. Yeah, it only counts. It only counts as a crossover if it does the legendary war from Cross Wars. That's a crossover. It wouldn't even qualify as a cameo. And even then, different universe, different interpretations of those monsters. I mean, I'm not going to tell people how to run their channels, but for me, that's disingenuous. Definitely. Unless they specify, I've come here from another dimension somehow.
Yeah.
Then yes, but otherwise it's a
like
reference.
If there's an Agumon, something about that kind of way, and it counts.
Yeah. I like that cube. Yeah. All right. So aside from that, other things about this episode was so stupid. Sirenmon probably hurt those girls in the beginning of the episode. We didn't see any of her victims in the end of the episode. Yeah, one of them was like crushed.
Yeah.
Like she was getting some were getting strangled, some were getting crushed. And they just glossed over that because Hero's voice is warbly. And the fight was short. And in the end, she's like, so my singing is bad. Screw those people that I hurt. I need to practice my singing. And the fight was short. I need this show to give some plot details and true evil Digimon, like in the reboot. In every episode, we had evil Digimon that had defeated. And in the first 5 episodes, we had so much plot. I don't know if we had so much plot in the first 5 episodes. But do you mean of this show or of Adventure 2020? Oh, okay. 5 points. Right. Adventure 2020 gave us a lore dump in episode 4, and then it was we need to find the Holy Digimon for 30 episodes. What was Faga? Can anyone answer that? Can anyone genuinely answer what was Faga? No? Okay. Moving on. So Algamon's fight in the network, one of the major antagonists show. Yeah, no, and I do, and I will give Algamon credit because I do like that he was weaved in all throughout the show, and it had a much bigger impact on things when you got to Abadomon because Algamon was working for Abadomon, and I do like that, and I would like for something of that degree to be weaved into the episode. Like we've seen Clockmon is afraid of something, presumably Gulus Gamamon, but the show hasn't done anything else since that, so I would like a bit more weaving of background elements rather than just Monster of the Week. Omegamon in episode 2, still a stupid decision. Negamon tease in episode 3, and Aizmon birth. Tokyo was in danger. And we stopped caring about the real world after episode, I want to say 30 as well. We stopped checking in on what effects were going on in the real world. In episode 5 we got lore, and then we learned about the Holy War and the Blue Darkness, which was Millenniumon, which was just the old darkness. They got the mission to find the Holy Digimon. Didn't really amount to anything. And then we got the first appearance of Devimon, who was turned into a joke and only redeemed in the second half of the show. All that plot in the first 5 episodes, debatable. All I want from this, sorry, I refuse to give Adventure 2020 credit where I don't think it's due. All I want from this show is to start focusing on the story, and I agree there, weaving plot elements in between the background filler would be nice. Hopefully it will after episode 9. We're all fingers crossed on that one. It's great to know you'll eventually do Dragon Quest videos. commit to Dragon Quest videos or just watching Dragon Quest? So I'll have to go back and watch the footage on that. I don't think I committed to doing Dragon Quest reviews, rather more so than just watching it when I had time. But you might need more than one video a week for that anime because it's long.
I do watch it. You could just...
Yeah, I just do an overall review. It doesn't have to be a weekly thing. Skip then says, this reminds me of 02. I need to see some Digimon getting killed. And I replied to that personally. I said, nah, 02 was a moral choice that made no sense based on previous events in 02's own continuity. This is just winning with words over actions. And this week it was just winning because the antagonist said, screw this, I'm out. I'm bored, yeah. Justin says, I felt like this episode was kind of taking a jab at Digimon Adventure 2020 by playing its first ending theme. That's something to think about. Ghost Game is saying 2020 was cursed.
I like that.
Yo. I like that. Lol. I'm still loving how Angoramon thinks it's strange that Gamamon still degenerates back after the battle is over, since it's actual Digimon lore, for example. Even in most of the Digimon games, even Digimon who have tamers when evolution occurs stay in that form unless you revert them. Yeah, like Cyber Sleuth and Next Order and things like that. And I don't think the Digivice has anything to do with evolution in some games. I think it's mostly a Digilab. Yeah, like Cyber Sleuth uses the Digilab. The Digivice in, say, the Cyber Sleuth universe is really only so you can log into Eden. The Digivice is a creation of the Kamishiro Corporation. It has no bearing on the digital world or the Digimon themselves. In Next Order, I don't even think in Next Order they do have the old battling Tamagotchi Digivices. And they do say that it's those that pulled the humans into the digital world. So it varies by universe, but it's not always a universal thing that the Digivice is a holy relic. Which is nice, because different universes should have different rules with maybe vague elements tying them together for some semblance of continuity. Then... Oh, there's a read more here. As far as the episode itself, I can't say it's the best we've had so far, but it's nice to see Sirenmon on screen. She looks like an adorable baby despite her level. Not in that episode.
No, she was creepy.
She was a creepy teenager last week.
Just that of her from like front of her beak thing.
Like the one we used on the thumbnail?
Yeah. Like just that, like glaring down at you with her.
Yeah, her eyes are like over here. But yeah. But like in all her other media, like she's just a baby. But the episode last week definitely aged her up and tried to make her more threatening through that, I think. I can say the same for Piccolomon. Simon? Lol, and I said the same thing you said about Pokemon unlocking attacks. I feel like when the tamers call out the attack names, it's like Pokemon when the trainer tells the Pokemon what attack to use in battle. But I think it was funny seeing that Hero ended the battle by singing and made Sirenmon see that she was the issue. He didn't apologize for nearly killing Ruri's friends though. Skip then commented again, Gamamon always digivolves just to shoot one attack and then he reverts back. Yeah. And this week we got V headbutt and a kick to the face, or a kick to the back of the head. And finally then, Clatter Glass. Like every episode in this show, this one was also an enjoyable watch, but it also has its faults as well. One of those faults is that I feel like Angoramon was a bit underutilized in this episode, and what I mean by that is that Angoramon is supposed to be the more knowledgeable one of the trio about other Digimon and how to properly handle them. Yeah. I think the beginning of the battle should have Sirenmon put some pressure on the team, in particular start aiming half of its attacks towards Ruri and Angoramon, and with Ruri being increasingly in danger, Angoramon digivolves to Simpar Angoramon, and things play as they did before, but with some Simpar Angoramon figuring out how to solve this conflict. That would have made the episode much better. I also think that the writers need to temporarily or half stop making Hero be the one to resolve all these conflicts? Yep. When there are literally other characters that can do that? Yeah. Hero and the other kids are only now recently getting info about other Digimon, and they still wouldn't be able to know everything about all the other Digimon when coming into conflict with them. Angoramon, and to a small extent Jellymon, should half the time be the ones to know what type of Digimon the gang is going up against and how to handle it. Yeah, just give the others something to do. It would be nice.
Gamamon is not exactly, like we said, he's not smart.
Yeah, like Reiko's comment, he's not exactly smart.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Damn, the humanoid Siren Mon I drew perfectly could perfectly be canon. Basically, yeah. The Siren Mon you drew was basically the one we got last week.
Yeah.
Also,
but yeah, Gamamon's not gonna be the one to look at other Digimon. Oh, that's so and so.
Yeah.
He's this.
Yeah.
Whereas the other two, I feel like might be Hormone.
Let's see. Depends. Do you need a blue screen of death moment, or if you already have it? Yami, leave the history alone, will you? Leave the history alone. This is not the time. Another episode, maybe. Maybe we'll delve into the old archives on a different episode. But now is not the time. Got it. There you go. Bah! The level system is literally an arbitrary stage that Yggdrasil gives to Digimon when registering them in its database. Yummy. Thesaurus incoming. I would like some water, thank you. Desmond, yeah, for people who give out copyright claims for nonsensical reasons makes that claim hard to believe. Wait, what? Oh, the crossover thing, yeah. Yokomon could have a different evolution line. It does. It's just the Cubimon evolution line, but purple. I think instead of Taumon, it's Domon. So Doumon. And then instead of Sukuyamon, it's, I can never pronounce this right, Kazuhamon? But it's basically just Sukuyamon, but purple. And then it also has a Shrine Maiden mode, like Sukuyamon has. And it's again just I can't pronounce it. Miko mode. But yeah, it's just purple. So it's just, there's Domon. It's just purple Taumon. Evolves from Yokomon. Kuzuhamon. Kuzuhamon. You see, it's just purple Sukuyamon. And then evolves to Kuzuhamon Miko mode. So she becomes a Shrine Maiden. Yeah. So we're not going to come across her in Fatal Frame.
Oh, but
what?
Umra.
Oh God! Oh no! Maybe we will.
She's got the womb cave.
So I've just introduced Meg to Kuzuhamon, and her Shrine Maiden mode has an attack called Taizokai Mandara, right? And it translates as Womb Realm Mandala, right? Womb Realm Mandala. We're currently playing through Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater on the channel. You've probably seen the clips pop up throughout a bit. But one of the areas you can visit is called the Womb Cavern. So we're kind of dying here. Kuzuhamon, yeah. Desmond Blunt, it's like Lolly. We do not talk about Lolly. Kuzuhamon. We are legend heroes. Yokomon would have. And yeah, that was where we got to. I missed our legend. It was Dawn Devi. Yeah. She's those chibi adult level Digimon. That's a trope I hate though. That I don't want that trope of she looks 12 but she's actually 1200. Let's not do that. That's why I like the idea of Tinkermon, right? Like because of Tinkerbell, and then you have Petermon and whatever. I like the idea of Tinkermon just being like this high rather than person sized.
Yeah.
Because I think it leans a little into that. Yeah. Like it's a cute design, and one of the card designs in particular, the artist had a bit of fun, as you know, artists are wont to do. Yeah, I'm just. Anyway, let's have a look. A thing that a lot of people ignore about Digimon is that there can be physical differences in the same species. But the change in Sirenmon's design is simply how she individually looks. Yeah, and that's true as well. I mean, and that sort of leans into what Meg and I were saying there a moment ago about, you know, even if it was Kyubimon that showed up last week rather than Yokomon, just because it's a Kyubimon doesn't mean it's Rika's Kyubimon. You know, that doesn't make it a Tamers crossover. You know, and then in Agumon you have the standard Agumon, and then you have Agumon 2006, which is the one with the wrist straps, and you know, so you have that same family, but you have an offshoot or just a different, you know, the tall child in the family, or whatever, you know. So it is. I mean, Reiko.
They have personalities.
Yeah.
Alter themselves.
Exactly.
Just
yeah.
like twins in the real world, completely different because they're two different people.
Yeah, like just because Sirenmon is generally shown to be baby doesn't mean that all of them are probably baby. She might just be small. She might just be small. SMOL. Basically, Kazuhamon is a shrine maiden and Tsukuyamon is the high priestess. Yeah. You know how much the fanbase fell after the reboot ended? After episode 2, I don't know why. Like Professor Agumon. Yeah, there is. There's an Agumon Hakase. That is a thing. And then there's an evil one of those as well. Which is like fake Agumon Hakase or something. And there's the fake one.
Yeah. Oh, he's so cute
with his big long sleeves, yeah. And then there's another one where it's like Dr. Terriermon or something.
Oh.
Terriermon assistant. So yeah, so that's adorable. But yeah, so priestess, and then so shrine maiden, and then the high priestess. This should work if I spell it right. Yeah, got an A there. Yeah, so you say like generally the same idea. And there is some particularly fan servicey artwork for it. That is official art. That is official art. I just loaded into the chat here so we can all so nobody gets left out. So I just showed Meg Tsukuyamon Miko mode, and this is official art from a card game. Not the current card game, but Digimon booby monsters. Anjumon changes his clothes. Yeah. Yeah, he basically, he just puts on a robe.
They simply change. Not just the Bancho ones.
Yeah. Oh, Leomon's wearing a coat now. He's a mega level. What the hell is this emoji? I do like the idea. Digimon puts on a jacket and go like, "Oh, clothes. These are nice. Humans wear these." Yggdrasil just goes, "You're a completely new species of Digimon now." Oh. I want to biomerge with her. Yeah. Considering, depending on the universe, she's already a biomerge. That might get a bit weird. Oh.
Some people.
And some people think that's, yeah. 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 You know, we live in a universe where Mervamon exists. Always remember, we live in a universe where Mervamon exists. And she's the Digimon who attacks you with her crotch. Literally. And it's called... No, Heartbreak Attack, she has an attack called Heartbreak Attack, and it's not like Monzemon's Heartbreak Attack. Her one, she shoots lasers from her boobs. And then she has another one where she does like a 450 flip and comes at you crotch first.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And basically sits on your face. Which is, children's franchise.
Yeah. If anyone calls you a child for watching it, this what you let your children watch?
And then they'll report you to the FBI. You won't need Yoshiro to do it, or to be smarter than them. But yeah,
Comments?
I think that's all the comments. Yeah, I think we can move on. I think we're just in the have banter with the chat part of the show. So, damn, I drew a Sirenmon 18 plus if you did. This franchise really pushed for 18 plus if it's. Yeah, it's like they know, right? It's like they saw what happened with Anjuwamon and Renamon and went, let's lean into this. You know. You know, it makes up for the lack of love that Pixie from Monster Rancher gets. What? Who said that? Oh yeah. Is there any information on the 02 movie? Not yet. I think we're due to get a trailer soon. Last I had heard. Last I heard we're meant to get a new trailer soon, but I don't know really if anything is coming for it. I know about as much as you do right now. Bancho are always badass, and that's why they're mega. Yeah, well, I mean, Bancho Lilymon is just Lilymon in her goth phase, right?
Yeah.
Damn, I drew a Sirenmon 18 plus. Yeah, you did, and it turned out really well.
You should be proud of it.
You should be proud of it. If you are of age, you should go check out Reiko's Twitter for really just awesome drawings in general, and then a very nice Sirenmon based on the one from last week. I can't believe we thought she was flying through the sky with giant.
Yeah, I thought her cape thing.
Her cape thing was just giant boo, and then Reiko's like, I can work with this.
Yeah.
Oh, they rule 34'd Renamon to death. Oh god, yeah. Nobody talks about Lotusmon. No, they don't. They don't talk about Lotusmon. Because, and still no Venusmon. Yeah, ooh. You know, for the amount of Olympus 12 love that Cross Wars got, kinda surprised Venusmon didn't make an appearance. Because a lot of the Olympus 12 made it into Cross Wars. They're like another group like the Royal Knights, but they're all based on so you have Minervamon, who's the younger version of Marsmon, that thing I said. Yeah, so Neptunemon, Jupiter,
Sorry, yeah.
Jupitermon, you know, so interesting. But I guess Venusmon is maybe. Nah, this show has no. No, we have Anjouamon. You can't look at Venusmon then and say no. No. After the show, after this franchise gave us Mervamon and her crotch attacks, you can't look at Venusmon and say no. This is too much. You already went past the line. You don't get to backtrack. Ever since Digimon Dawn, I loved Apollomon. Yeah, Apollomon and Dianamon. We didn't get Dianamon in Cross Wars either, but we did get Lunamon. That kind of worked out. I have a big attachment to Neptunemon, since it was the final form of my starter in Hacker's Memory. That's a very good reason. Like, that's a very good reason to have an attachment to a Digimon. I don't really know. Like, if you were to ask me why Wormmon, I don't have a reason. Wormmon was just that one yeah.
Why? Yes.
Yeah,
Because.
just because.
That's Buffy.
Also Leviamon, since my starter first became a Leviamon, but I made it go back since its ABI wasn't maxed yet, and then it became Neptunemon. Nice. ABI grinding in Hacker's Memory in the Cyber Sleuth games. Not fun when you want to go to Super Ultimate, where you're trying to unlock like a Pokemon or something else. Ugh. I also consider that my biggest sin is envy, so more attachment to Leviamon. Oh. Yeah. Glad yes. So.
Like, who like? You know?
Oh, like Zap Brannigan and Champagne.
Yeah.
The Champagne. AJ, which route would you take, Hoodymon or Stingmon? Okay, so let's talk about this now, shall we? So, you see this? You see this thing? The holster for the dim cards? Right? There's another one of these coming out. It doesn't come out until March, and pre-orders end sometime in December. It is a green and gold one of these, and it comes with a Stingmon dim card. And it goes through the ringer, so it has Wormmon, Stingmon, Dino Beamon, Paildramon, Jewel Beamon, Boncho Stingmon is in there. Hoodymon is also in there. And now I don't have to pick. I can do both. I can have a Hoodymon and a Stingmon. I don't have to pick. I get to be that guy. I get to be Willis. Now that's what everyone should aspire to, right? Everyone should be Willis and have two. Let the Wormmon decide if it wants to be a badass edgy shonen protagonist or a cute girl shoujo protagonist. I don't know. I think Hoodymon would kick everybody's ass regardless. You know, I mean, Stingmon is just Kamen Rider Black. You know, like that's clearly where that design comes from. It's Kamen Rider Black. Black or Black Oryx. It's black. But Hoodymon, I mean, I think Hoodymon would just kick everyone's ass regardless. I don't think she's cute shoujo protagonist as she is, I don't want to say tropey, but she is tomboy muscle girl will beat the crap out of you regardless, protagonist. So either is valid, but or Lotusmon, but I like the girl she spirit evolved from. You leave my waifu out of this, thank you. I get protective about Nanami. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna answer. Yes, I'm still partnerless.
Yeah, Meg is technically still partnerless. Technically, I mean, you took to the Meikumon, but I don't think that's.
Yeah, I haven't.
You haven't.
I took to it, but it latched on.
No, you took to it but didn't latch onto it. So you haven't Bulbasaured yourself to a Digimon yet.
I see it. Like.
Meg, let's be fair.
She wouldn't have.
Not where I was going to go with that, but
Okay.
sure. I was going to go the other way. I was going to say, you know that meme? I'm a simple man. I see boobs, I hit like. You were that. You were the meme.
Yeah.
You were a simple girl. You see boobs, you hit like. Which is totally valid.
I still have taste in it.
Yeah,
They
somewhere.
have to be attached to something nice.
Why have we gone bottom left again?
Again.
Oh. What about Commandomon? I mean, Commandomon's a buddy. I don't know if he's a partner, but he's definitely a buddy. You know,
Nice to have.
I'm looking forward to raising a Commandomon in a couple of weeks when my new Dim card gets here. Okay, then Hoodimon is a Precure. Yes. Yeah, that works. That checks out. And can't Hoodimon evolve into an Aeosmon now? I would have thought so. It's not on the Dim card, shockingly. But I would have said Hoodimon into Aeosmon works quite well. Like, if you wanted an alternate, like, rookie or child level or Hoodimon that isn't Wormmon, I think Morphomon works really well. I think Hoodimon is that nice bridge between those forms if you don't want to just go Morphomon, Aeosmon, Aeosmon, Aeosmon. Hoodimon works really well there. The ones from Kizuna. The Menoa, not Monica, her partner.
Yeah.
But yeah, she fits in really well there. But what?
Money.
Yeah. So was this after we'd watched Kizuna?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a while after. I think you got like a card.
Oh, that's yeah. So,
yeah, it was in your video.
yeah. So we had watched Kizuna over on the Twitch channel, and then shortly after, the booster set with Menoa and Morphomon and Aeosmon and all those, that booster pack came out. And every time I would talk about Menoa Bellucci, I kept calling her Monica Bellucci. And I didn't cop it. Even when I was editing the video together to post it up, I didn't cop it. And then
For anyone who doesn't know, Monica Bellucci is an actress.
Monica Bellucci is an actress. And I just kept calling Menoa Monica. And again, I didn't notice my mistake. Even while I was editing, it all sounded fine. And then I put the video up, and Meg was watching it back, and she went, "You called Menoa Monica like 50 times." And I went, "But her name is Monica." "Oh, no, it's not." Herlock Sholmes.
Yeah.
I have the right idea. I just need a nudge, where I'm to.
She is not a Russian revolutionary.
Not
Okay?
a Russian revolutionary. But look at her uniform. It's clearly that of the Russian army.
It's just silly.
Yeah, getting into very silly territory now.
It's half 11.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. So Pedja then asked, tough question, top 5 battles. Ooh. Yeah, that's a. Ooh. Okay, I'll go one better. Because I need to limit my options here, otherwise we'll be here all night. I am not going to pull from the video games or the manga. I'm going to keep it strictly to the anime, and I'll do one per season. Because otherwise, I don't want Frontier, getting 2 choices or something like that. So for Adventure 99, it's the final battle with Vamdemon. As much crap as I give Vamdemon, and that arc, well, the arc is fine, but I think Vamdemon is a little overhyped for a villain that I don't really care for. But the culmination of that fight and the 8 kids working together for the first time, Anjuwumon showing up, all of that, I think that's really good, and I think it's a nice end to an arc. The Venom Vamdemon stuff I could have done without. Like, I know the point of it was to get us War Greymon and Metal Garurumon, but I still think you could have done that in the Dark Masters arc. So for Adventure 99, I think it's the final battle with Vamdemon. For 02, my favorite fight in 02. That is a very good question. I want to say the battle against Chimeramon, because that's the one that stands out the most to me. Like, Marine Devimon destroying the hospital is fun. Not the destroying the hospital part, but the spectacle of Marine Devimon just being so big, like kaiju sized, and he's knocking stuff down like the Dragon Zord. You know, I really like the aesthetic of the Marine Devimon fight, just because of the kaiju-ness to it. But Chimeramon, for Devimon you beat him with a champion. Yeah, I mean, which is fair. You know, for Chimeramon though, it's, you know, it's everything. It's the golden Digi-Egg, it's Magnamon turning up, it's Wormmon finally finding his spine and standing up to the Kaiser. All of that, it pops, it's memorable. More so than any of the others. I don't like the final fight against Belial Vamdemon. Bloody well hate it. Yeah, because half that episode is just evolution sequence. And that half that episode is what happens when people try and fix the Legendary War. When they go, oh, well, just edit in all the evolution sequences and all the music. And you're like, this clip is 13 minutes.
Yeah.
This is the reason they didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's why you saw all the evolutions in real time.
That was an awful clip.
It's awful. The only good version of that I seen, it got pulled down. It was that idea, but it was just all the attacks were put in. Or for the evolutions, the audio was put in as the stuff was happening. So you have that bit where Beamon and Stingmon jump into the sky and they start jog resting. So that starts happening, and then you just hear this echo of Jogress Shinka!
Yeah.
And then Imperial Dramon pops up, and I go, that's not how that works, but fine.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, like the fight with Belial Vamdemon is bloody awful. You know, so it's definitely the Chimeramon fight for season 2. It was never explained why Daisuke couldn't keep the Digimental of Miracles. He got to use it in the movie. I don't know, maybe it was a one-time trinket. Because if he got to keep it, he would have access to a golden armor mega level, and that would be completely OP. Then for Tamers, oh, it's Megidramon and Beelzebon, isn't it? It has to be that one, because that's the one where everything goes off the fucking rails. It's Megidramon and Beelzebon without a shadow of a doubt, leading up then to Dukemon. I mean, everyone will say the D-Reaper, and I appreciate that, because certain characters get redemption arcs, and the D-Reaper is just terrifying as this eldritch abomination. But my favorite is still that initial confrontation with Beelzemon, where he just mercilessly murders Leomon, and Takato goes into a fucking rage. And it's like, oh, this is Dark Evolution.
Mm.
This is the tamer. His switch has been flipped. And the results of it are undone in about 5 seconds after it happens. Like, as you get, like, Takato, he, like, such a sweet and innocent boy, and Leomon just gets mercilessly murdered. Jerry's Digivice shatters into a billion pieces, and Takato goes off the deep end.
Yeah.
And then Megidramon happens, and Takato immediately goes, oh my god, I fucked up, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
Like, immediately, the rage disappears, but Megidramon is unstoppable.
Yeah.
And then you just have Megidramon and Beelzemon going head to head. And it's God, it's glorious. And it builds up then to Dukemon and Takato learning how to control his power, and it's so good. Tamers was really good. The scene. Yeah, oh yeah.
We really don't have.
We don't have. We don't. We don't. Then Frontier. Can I skip Frontier? Seriously?
It's your list.
No. Do you know what? I won't. No. Well, and I said I would. I said I'd commit to one per season. For Frontier, it's Takuya versus Mercurymon. And the first double spirit evolution. Because Takuya is beating the shit out of. He's down, he's exhausted, he's doing the protagonist, I won't give up, I'm this and that. His goggles are all broken. And then the light of evolution fixes his goggles. And he powers up and he comes back against Mercurymon, and it's the one moment in Tamers in Frontier I went, that's badass. Then Sabers. Really? You think Sabers will be an obvious one? Before I go into Sabers then, what do you think, Yami? What do you think my favorite fight in Sabers is? Very curious. And for the record, no, it's not Masaru versus Craniumon. I think we've dunked on that enough in the last couple of weeks.
I'm just kid on the trash.
Did it?
I had to unhide that.
YouTube has a Belial Vamdemon fan in the AI then, huh? I'm very curious what Yami thinks my favorite Sabers fight will be. So while I'm waiting on that, then I'll jump into Cross Wars. Now, Cross Wars I have to cheat because there's 3 different versions. But there's season 1, season 2, and season 3, and they're all different arcs. So they all have their own. That's really good. That's really good. That's really good. Dang, I feel put on the spot. It's the Karada Demon Lord, the Karada Belphimon fight. That's up there. With Shine Greymon Burst Mode being the, and that whole arc coming to a resolution. She's right.
I figured that's what that face was.
I'll come back to Sabers. No, that's definitely up there. Masaru and Suguru is also a good choice.
Don't go G.
Yeah, basically. Don't you go change? Yeah. Yeah, like it is, right? It's the Masaru versus I shouldn't say Masaru versus Belphimon. It's the Shine Greymon versus Belphimon, Masaru versus Karada point. That whole thing with Masaru appearing in the fireball punching Karada in the face so hard Belphemon explodes. And the whole build up, the Evangelion-like stalking of Shine Greymon burst mode toward Belphemon, Karada trembling in fear. like it is, you know. Masaru being Advent Children back up the world tree is up there. Shine Greymon destroying Yggdrasil the first time is a moment. I wouldn't say it's my favorite fight, but it's definitely a moment that's there. Toma versus Nanami, because Nanami. And maybe Masaru versus Yggdrasil, the final one. Punching God in the face is always a good way to end the show. Or a JRPG. Sabers is great, and we need more protagonists beating the hell out of the enemies themselves. Yeah. So Cross Wars, again, Cross Wars I kind of have to cheat. In Act 1, it's the fight against High Machine Dramon, where Balmon becomes Beelzemon for the first time. That moment always sticks out to me a lot when I think about Cross Wars Part 1. There's a lot of, like, there's the first time Metal Greymon shows up and just obliterates a battlefield, because I have a huge bias for blue flare Metal Greymon. There's the fight against Tactimon where Omega Shoutmon first shows up. There's the fight against Tactimon against Cross 5B. Blastmon versus Cross 5B. There's a lot of good action sequences in Cross Wars Part 1. So how were Yoshino and Ivan polar opposites again? He was an overly romantic buff dude who spoke his thoughts out loud, and she was a not so romantic girl who just didn't have time for his bullshit. That was why. And it was their way of not having the girls fight. They wanted to get away from that, so they just swapped two of the roles around. Frontier also had them fighting themselves, but it wasn't managed nearly as well as it could. You know, because I think at one point we were probably going to get Rosemon versus Lotusmon, but they decided against that. They just didn't want the girls, because they thought it was too cliche that the girls fight. So they had Nanami be Toma's rival, the two geniuses of their groups, and then Yoshino and Ivan who were left because Koki and Masaru were just the same character. Just with slightly different moral allegiances. Then, so Cross Wars Season 2, then it's Toma versus Nanami still loses to Masaru. Basically, yeah. And that was kind of why I wanted to say that over the Belphemon thing, but the Belphemon thing is just too cool. Cross Wars Season 2, there's a lot of good in the Death Generals arc. There's the fight against Olegmon. There's the fight against Suamon. Yeah, there's the fight Apollomon Whispered, I think was an idea that they could have done a lot more with. But if I had to pick one for Cross Wars Part 2, it's where we get Cross 7 for the first time. That whole thing with Dekardramon dying, his final words to Kiriha about not being alone and having friends, and the power of love and the true, you know, all that stuff, that the character who is being the edgelord of the team with his stupid haircut and his change in fashion sense, you know, he does have a heart and he should embrace it. And that unlocking Shoutmon Cross 7, yeah, more of that. Then Cross Wars Part 3, I feel like I'm cheating, but it is the Legendary War because it's nostalgia for the veins. It can't there's a couple of good sequences in Cross Wars 3, but the show is really brought down by its protagonist. So I'm gonna go with the Legendary War because it's the fucking Legendary War. Then Applemon. No, I won't. No. There's a part of me that wants to say it's the Gaiamon. Well, because that's not really a fight. It's the Globemon. It's the Globemon appearance. Because that was before the franchise started referencing our war game every 5 minutes. Looking at you, Adventure 2020. Globemon basically doing our war game by himself was really fun. The first fight against the Ultimate Four is up there, but I can't go into that too much because I'm going to spoil it on Meg if I do, because Meg is currently working her way through Applemon. So I'm going to go with Globemon's first appearance against all the Virusmon, because that sequence is fan service done right. But if there was one I had to pick to go beyond that, it would be Globemon. Is it burst mode? It's effectively a burst mode, right? So Globemon burst mode versus Charismon. I won't go into what a Charismon is because Meg hasn't gotten there, but that fight is really damn good. Because it's a culmination of just so many episodes of the cast feeling like they're outmatched at every turn, and finally they get this boost, and it's so satisfying. Yeah, so I'm somewhere between those. Globemon's first appearance or Globemon versus Charismon. My opinion would probably change based on my mood. Kind of one of those. It could my favorite could be either one on any given day. And then Adventure 2020. Yes. To be fair to the final battle, having Omegamon switch between dual cannons and dual swords and then slide evolving, that was really good. And I even said on the podcast while we were watching Adventure 2020, the idea of a Badomon taking Omegamon's shape to mock him and be like, yeah, I'm just going to beat you with your own techniques. I really do like that. The problem is, I think that came far too late in the show to redeem Adventure 2020. So I think I'm going to go... Let me have a look at my... Actually, I still have my Adventure 2020 rankings here. That's just a good episode, but the fight isn't. Like, Ponchomon is great, but it's not one of my top 5 fights. I mean, for Cross Wars Part 2 as well, I could have cheated and said Cross 7 Superior Mode. But no, that feels way too easy.
I mean, is it really cheating if...
No, because it's more like an answer just to get it out of the way. It is one of those. Because it's like every Digimon ever combining to like the ultimate Digimon and destroying the bad guy in one very badly animated hit. The ultimate Digimon attacks, Pouring Hope. Oh, the Sword of Hope. See, these are all good episodes, but they don't have good battles. is the problem. The end of the adventure is probably the one with the best battle. Hikari New Life, the Gekomon Spring Revolt, the Hikari of Dawn, the Targeted Kingdom. Oh, again, good episode, not a good fight. Vikemon, Conqueror of the Glacier, Viking versus Pirate, that was really good. Lilymon Blooms, Lilymon versus Andromon, that was, oh, yeah, maybe that. Wandering Berserker, right, Mimi-chan Wars, the Ogremon fight, that's what I'm thinking. Greymon versus Ogremon on the Children's Attack on the Fortress. It might be episode 8. It's either Greymon versus Ogremon, just for how physical and visceral that fight is. Really well animated, and you do feel the punches and the swipes and everything. Like it's animated very well. You do feel the impact of those. Rebellymon versus Boltmon is really good, but I wouldn't put it in my top 5. And that's a problem with Adventure 2020. A lot of good episodes, but the fights are very lacking. Goku Greymon goes in my bottom 5, so that's definitely not happening. Just out of what's the word I'm looking for? Begins with a P. Principle. Just in principle, Goku Greymon goes in my bottom 5. But yeah, I would say for Adventure 2020, it's either Greymon versus Ogremon or Omegamon versus Obatamon. And who would have thought I would give Omegamon any credit in Adventure 2020? But if you put me on the spot and I have to give credit where credit's due, it's a very well animated fight. The animators were very honest about what shortcuts they took because of their budget, and because some aspects of that battle had to be better animated than others. So panning the camera out and doing the sparkle attacks and things let them save on budget to do better close-ups and better animation for that. So when you understand where it comes from an animation perspective, it really does sort of change your mindset on things. But so yeah, again, that's another one where that would change depending on how I'm feeling that day. Either one, which now is turning in, going to be a top 8 or a top 10 by the time I'm done. And then Ghost Game, we've only had 7 episodes. It wouldn't be right. But even if I did have to pick one, it'd be the Clockmon fight.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I picked that purely because of the tree.
Yeah, purely because of the tree. Yeah, the branch into the portal. Yeah, but Ghost Game may surprise us yet with something else. It's still.
But so far, that would probably.
Yeah, that'd probably be my favorite so far.
I wouldn't even. Like it was the first one
it's
that
the
came
only...
to mind. Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe actual. I think.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah,
that was interesting
because he was still a Gamamon at that stage.
Yeah,
and Hero getting involved with the branch. So I think Oh, okay. Well, that's what happens when I go off on tangents. Let's see. What did the chat have to say? As for reboot, Omegamon Alt-S Abatamon, I think the best fight through the battle done to everyone. Oh, Justin, why did they call it double warp Digivolve in the dub? For Savers? Oh, because they were warping, because they called Rookie to Ultimate warp Digivolving, they called Rookie to Mega double warp Digivolving, because you're doubling your, yeah, that was the logic behind it. They didn't just stick with warp evolving. I guess they thought it would confuse the little Timmies, if warping to what? Little Timmy and Susie would get confused if you could warp evolve to Peckmon, but also warp evolve to Yadagaramon or Romon in the dub. So Sleek says, I like Gaiamon's fight with Rebootmon. All Gaiamon did was just punch and kicks, and I love it. Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much on Meg. while others would use their attacks more. Just want to dive into the future. Told me not to go. Sashitake Mokabokatachi no. Anyway, my timing's a bit off. It's been a while. My timing's a bit off, but the tune is still kind of there. We need Globemon in our the Ogremon fight. Yeah. I like the orchestral version of Break the Chain. Yeah, very good. For Sleek Rebellion versus Boltmon, valid choice. Wouldn't be in my top 5, but top 5 for Adventure 2020 on its own. Yeah, it's up there. Yami says, just because I barely remember any of 2020, I'll give it to Hercules Kabucherimon. Surprisingly physical. Yeah. Also the battle with Machine Dramon in episode 48 pageant. Yeah. But look, again, I try to commit to one choice per season. So and again, for me, Adventure 2020 had a lot of kind of Bayonetta-y. It had a lot of good set pieces, but the fights themselves were kind of middling. Yeah. So you remember the spectacle rather than the battle. Yeah, that works. And I say that like I don't mean to compare it to Bayonetta negatively, but Bayonetta's boss fights are these giant set pieces. Yeah. You know, and you're bouncing around the screen and it's all stage and you're bouncing around and you're shooting and you're throwing punches and you're summoning demons, but they are very much just giant stage set pieces, particularly in Bayonetta 2. It sort of leaned into that more compared to the first one. I'm very curious with the third one now because we're going to get kaiju battles and stuff. The whole formula will change again, but so the fights were quite clunky. Yeah, I think that's like the set pieces were good, but the fights themselves were very clunky and unmemorable. I think that's a fair way I think the more than fair way to put it, to be fair. Say fair a lot. I think we're about ready to wrap this up. It is 4 minutes to midnight, and it's also 4 minutes till we're 3 hours into this. Yeah. So
we started perfectly on time today.
Yeah.
3 hours at this point.
Oh, well, look, we'll start the wrap up process just so Meg can go and rest her back. So, guys and gals, thank you so much for joining in. I really do appreciate it, as we do every Sunday here on the Co-Crown podcast. A bit of admin I need to cover. Next week, the podcast will not happen on Sunday. Myself and Meg are going to be away visiting friends that weekend, so we're going to do the podcast when we get back. So it'll probably happen Monday or Tuesday. Keep an eye on social media for that, because that'll be how I let you guys know. So the podcast will be delayed next week. And you're very welcome, Reiko. Thank you so much for joining in. We always appreciate. Was that the point you were trying to make earlier? Probably. I was trying to make a lot of points. I get confused. Not all of them, but some are. Funky fights, yeah. So that's next week. So we will be looking at Pandemonium or Nightmare Raid, probably next Monday or Tuesday as opposed to next Sunday. And then tomorrow we will do our Digimon Dawn, possibly a Digimon Dusk stream as well. Maybe we'll do the first hour of Dawn, play the first hour of Dusk, and see if the intros are that different. Very curious now based on what the chat has said. I remember them being basically identical, but that could be 15 years of memory lying to me. So we'll mushing them together, yeah, basically. So I hope you'll tune in for that. I'd love to see you over there, but if not, that's all good. I just hope to see you back here when we do come back with episode 8 of Digimon Ghost Game, our reaction, our review, our hangout with you guys, our answering your questions and comments, and just our fun. And all the monsplaining to Meg. Meg needs all the monsplaining.
I love that.
It is a good term. It is a good term, monsplaining. Uh, you know, and then for the really detailed stuff, would that be Mon spreading? Yo. Good night, all.
Good
Do
night.
look after yourselves. Take care. We love you lots. And peace out.